Hey everyone, welcome to the Oasis podcast. I'm your host, Miss AJ. Thanks for tuning in. An oasis is something that provides refuge, relief, or a pleasant contrast, and that is exactly what you will find tuning into the Oasis podcast. This is a space where I and special guests will be cultivating intentional and honest conversations about life's journey. Subscribe everywhere you listen to podcasts and watch us on YouTube now.
Hey y'all, hey. Welcome back to the Oasis podcast. Thank you for joining me again on another episode of Things I've Learned to Be True. So I know I've been on a steady schedule of weekly releases, but I did not release an episode last week, and it's for good reasons. Sis was busy, really living a manifestation, and it felt good. I just wanted to be in the moment and not also pressure or stress myself about recording an episode and then having to edit. It would have just been a lot, and I am on a path of ease, living a life of ease. So once something feels a little too stressful, strenuous, I'm like, as long as nobody gonna die, I'm gonna let it ride. So that's what I decided to do. And I also have decided that I'm not ready to release my postpartum story. It is and has been triggering just to think about. And I wanted to kind of release it before the year was up. But that was my own timeline, and it doesn't need to be followed. And so sometime next year, when I get back from break, because Christmas is upon us, as well as New Year, I will record it and release it for you all. And it's gonna be, I want it to be very detailed and not miss things. And that's kind of also the, not issue, but the hindrance in a way, is because I want it to be so detailed. And when I start thinking about the details, it makes me feel overwhelmed, and then I feel triggered, and I want that not to happen. But also, I don't know, I have to work it out. I'm gonna figure it out of how I'm gonna get it done and the best way to do it so that the information that's needed is delivered, but I'm also not put into a mental emotional state that I don't want to be in. And so I'll figure that out. So in the meantime, I do want to release another episode before we go on Christmas break, as well as enjoy the coming in of a new year. And this episode is focused on how you can be healing, grieving, and joy-filled at the same damn time. And that title came to me probably like a week or two ago, because I literally was feeling all the things at the same time. So all these things existed at once, and it's such a crazy space, to be in, but also like awesome. I don't know. I'm gonna try to break it down as best as I can. But I also do want to mention that there will be no episode next week. There will be no episode the week after. I haven't decided if I'm coming back in January or if it'll be a new season or just new episodes coming in February. More than likely, that'll be the case. I plan on, releasing this episode, doing whatever advertisements needed, and then hopping off of social media to give myself a social media cleanse and just to usher in the new year grounded and with my own thoughts and feelings and such, and not being bombarded by, the multitude of things that you can find on social media. So that is my plan. And so enjoy this last episode of the year. I hope it resonates with you. I hope you can relate, because because it is something that we often either don't give ourselves the space to feel all these things at once, or we don't think that it's possible to do. And I mentioned in previous episodes, and I think the last episode, where everything just came to me and made just perfect sense. Like everything clicked, right? And by everything, meaning the experience that I've had, the hardships, the pain, the sadness, the rage, the grieving. How, while you're in it, it doesn't make sense at all. It's like, why me? Or WTF, right? Like, I can do without this. I could have done without this. And you are questioning everything, right? You questioning whatever, higher being you believe in. Like, well, what did I do? Like, why would you do this to me? But then as time goes on and you do the necessary work, right? Time does not heal all wounds. It's the work that you do during that time that will heal the wounds, right? And so when you do the necessary work, you do the unpacking, you do the feeling of your feelings, right? You not blame yourself, but be accountable for the pieces of everything that's happened that you had a part in. You do what you need to do, whether that's forgiving when you're ready or not, because I do have thoughts on that. But whatever works for you. And once you do that work, things just, and it won't be all done at once before things start maybe clicking for you. But when you start to do that, when you start to do the deep stuff, right, you do start to see and get some clarity, and things just start feeling better. Just honestly, all of a sudden you will just feel better, and that is what I've experienced. And I guess the timing of everything to culminating is an interesting time, because as I mentioned to you all, right, the latter end of the year up until the top of a new year, right, is tough for me. This is when the period of time when my grandma started declining, and then her birthday, and then it's Christmas, which is her favorite time of the year, well, our favorite time of the year, and then it's the anniversary of her death. And so it's like a lot of heavy things, but then also like joyous things. And by joyous, I mean, I love Christmas, and I love the decorating and the traditions and the movies and the dressing up and all things. And so it's like, I don't, and in the past, I might have done this, let the grief take over a majority of my feelings and a majority of just the space in my mind and my heart. But this year, it's like I honored those grieving feelings of not only losing my grandma, but like how, life, quote unquote, was supposed to be. I honored them and I sat in them whenever they came. But a lot of those thoughts didn't come, which was pretty awesome, honestly, because it shows healing, it shows growth. But if they do come up, sitting with them and honoring them, and then allowing myself to fully immerse myself in the joyous moments of celebrating Christmas, of doing the little things that are fun for me, with my daughter now. And even though that girl don't know what's going on, she don't care. But it's still nice to, do the little things, the Christmas music and the this and the that, and the decorating, and let her experience certain things, the advent calendars and the stories. And I like it, and I'm hoping she can feel that energy of joy. And so this time of year will be connected to good feelings for her, and also put in place boundaries and things to make sure that no one takes away from that joyous feeling that I want to cultivate and create for not only my daughter but for myself. And It feels good. And so that's the part of the joy, and all of that, the grieving, the allowing myself to feel joy, the creating the joy. It's all part of the healing journey. Healing is continuous. Healing doesn't stop. There are things that you might have experienced. There are things that happen to you that you will heal from, period, right? It's not something that needs to be continuously worked on. But there are other things that are a lot deeper, right? That are a lot more, those roots go a lot further down. And those are the things that you may spend the rest of your life healing from, or maybe, a good amount of time healing from. But I think there's some things you can get to the healed, but there are things that it's just going to be a forever journey of healing, And so allowing yourself that grace, understanding that and allowing yourself that grace, and acknowledging too, though, which is, are you feeling overwhelmed by the demands of life? Motherhood? At AJO Consulting Services, LLC, we offer comprehensive wellness services that include personalized coaching, doula care, consulting, and personal and professional development to help you navigate this beautiful yet challenging phase of life. Our services are designed to support individuals and communities, especially women, birthing people, and families of color, in creating a more joyful and stress-free experience. From family planning to postpartum care, we provide the tools and resources you need to thrive. Let AJO Consulting Services help you prioritize your well-being and create a healthier, happier future for yourself and your family. It's a big thing for me that I mentioned is one, sitting in the gratitude of it. And that gratitude comes from realizing you got through that shit. You feel me? You made it. You did it. And, looking at this time last year, that's been a big thing for me to really assess my healing and how far I've come, of looking back. This time last year, where were you mentally, emotionally, spiritually? And not only seeing the difference, but feeling the difference in your body of what that space looked and felt like, and where you are now. That's a huge, huge measure for me, a huge indicator for me of how far you've come. And though the road may have been tough, it wasn't pretty, it may have been anxiety filled, it may have been tear filled, it may have been moments of I don't know what the fuck to do, I don't know where to go, but you're here right now and you made it through. And look what you did, because you did that. You made it through. You figured it out, right? When you thought you couldn't, when you thought there was no path through, you made it through, and that's a big motherfucking deal. That's a huge deal. And I think we don't take enough time to see that and feel that, because we're always looking for the next thing. That's a huge thing that I'm carrying with me, a huge lesson that I've fully learned this year, is to enjoy the moments, sit in those moments, and celebrate the small wins. And if that's just, I got half this house clean today, you did that. If it was, I got to rest today, for real, you did that. And those are big deals, because there were moments, at least for me, where getting through that felt like the hardest thing I ever done in my life, or I truly didn't feel like I would make it through the day, or accomplish this thing, or be able to rest. So being able to do these things that seem little is a big deal. It's a big deal. And I am in such a state of It's above me now. It's in God's hands. But not just saying it, but truly feeling it. Like, if I have a decision to make, I'll sit on it, I'll pray on it, I'll meditate on it, whatever's required for me to make that decision. Take a walk, get some fresh air. And once the answer comes to me, I know that it is not just ego or, something of the lower nature, but it is divine. And I rock with it, no questioning. Okay, this is what I need to do. Bet. Go left, going left, not questioning why I go left instead of right, or maybe I should see what's over there on the right side. No, I don't do that no more. If it's a no, it's a no. If it's a yes, all right. If things aren't working out, all right, it's time to deviate. Don't even stress about why, or I'm trying to force it to work. So since I've been of that mindset, when I tell you life has opened up in such a beautiful, special way, and it's not to say that there's not stressors, it's not to say that everything is picture perfect, but it feels just so much better. It just feels so much lighter. And why not trust your intuition, your higher self, the divine, the higher being? Why not? Because what you've been doing before hasn't been helping, huh? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it hasn't gotten you the results that you need. So why not? And that's where I'm at. Why not? And it's not to say that prior to, I didn't pray and do certain things, but I still didn't fully listen and hear and do what came from the prayer, right? Or fully listen to my intuition, because that's also an answer. When I would pray on certain things and, I'm like, okay, I'm waiting on an answer. And when certain things would arise from that situation, your gut is like, I think you should exit stage left. But then I would be like, oh, or something would happen. I'd be like, oh, okay, all right, I think I'm gonna give grace. Your answer was right there in your gut. Grace is nice. It's beautiful, but sometimes the best grace you can give, not only yourself but the other person, is following your intuition and leaving or not doing or stopping or whatever you prayed for, or whatever answer that gut feeling was supposed to give you. And now I don't question it. Now it's like, all right, that's what I gotta do. All right, we're doing it. No questions, no ifs, ands, buts about it. Drop it, I'm dropping it. Go left, I'm going left. Jump, I'm jumping. I ain't fit to ask why, I'm just gonna do it. And the thing about it is that it always works out how it needs to. And letting go of the, I don't want to say expectation per se, because I think you should have expectations, but you should also be able to pivot when it does not kind of play out how you want. But it's just, in a way, letting go of the control, and you can still want what you want, right? But trusting and understanding that how it plays out is how it's supposed to play out, and not sitting in the aftermath or sitting in the what comes next, fighting and upset, but being gracious and saying thank you for this, and that's whether it's a good or bad thing, to be honest, because even though it may seemingly be bad, I truly feel there's more to it than that. Something needs to be learned here, something needs to be understood, and you just haven't gotten to that point yet. Losing that job wasn't a loss. Losing that person wasn't a loss. Gaining whatever, some weight, was for a reason, right? Like, all of it, there's a reason, and maybe the reason to gain weight is to make sure that you truly love yourself in all shapes and sizes, right? Like, there's typically something more to it. And I've even seen this with my friends recently, how they would lose one thing or think they're losing something, or that one thing didn't pan out. And literally once they made peace with it, or maybe not full peace, they might still be like, oh man, them not realizing they was clearing the way, and then boom, something right after happens. It's like the thing that they really needed, happened right afterwards, And that's just a lesson in really trusting the divine, and really trusting in the higher power, trusting God, trusting yourself. We need to get back to trusting ourselves. So many things have happened, and maybe the things that's been infused in us has made us not fully trust ourselves. And I pray that you all can get back to that place of trusting yourself. You know what's best for you. Stop trying to people please. Stop being worried about, how this person's gonna think and react. It's your life to live, so live it.
Are you seeking guidance and support in life? On your motherhood journey? AJO Consulting Services, LLC offers tailored strategies to help you overcome challenges, build resilience, and achieve your goals. Empower yourself with personalized coaching.
That person has their life to live. Let them live it. Do not live your life for other people. Do not make every decision in your life solely based on what someone else is going to think or feel. No, because that's you literally handing your life away for someone else. So then who's living for you? Because the majority of the time, people are not living for you. They're doing things in their best interest. So please do and make the decisions that were best for you. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. Do the thing that you want to do, even if you're scared. Don't let any thought, decision, what might come, hold you back. Because just like you've been guided through some of the toughest shit that you ever experienced, you'll be guided through whatever next hurdle comes. And know that though it's going to be tough, it's not going to feel good, there is going to be the other side of it. And take the time to sit in it and see what blessing came and it's supposed to come from that situation. And also understanding that you can heal, you can grieve, and you can still be joyful, all at the same damn time. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of the Oasis podcast. I hope you were able to find something that resonated with you on your journey. Don't forget to subscribe anywhere you listen to podcasts and YouTube. Rate us and leave us a review and comment on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, and YouTube. Share your favorite episode and like us on Instagram and Facebook. If you have any questions, comments, want to be a guest, or any show ideas, contact us at ajaysoasis@gmail.com. That's AAYJAYSOASIS@gmail.com, or direct message us on Instagram and Facebook.